I've hit the go live button. We are live. Thanks for watching the VOD. We'll figure out the sound levels because I've got in-game sound. So we'll have to figure out the sound levels when people come in and provide some feedback on that front. I don't know what to say until then. Apologies if you're watching the VOD and the sound levels are weird. Hopefully they're not too loud, too weird. I hope everybody's that's watching the VODs had a good good weekend. Maybe some of you are actually in beta. If you're not, hopefully you're not too bummed about it. We're going to try to get you guys in. So, Jibba Jabba, hello. What's up, Phantom Ghost? Manicotti. Class and Cool. Be Mighty. House Pants. Irish. Yeah, if you won the lotto for the beta, you get an email with instructions on that. So keep an eye out. But if it's not in there yet, then you've just got to wait for the next round. Hey Briggs, what's going on? Barathos, your nostalgia's never been higher. We'll take that as a good thing. My dear friend Justin Beer, what's going on, buddy? Is it starting to warm up where you're at? The weather actually got, it's actually been very pleasant here. The question posed by Manicotti is, so far, success or beta for you guys? Yes, so far it's been great. It's been pretty smooth. I think that's, you know, that's a bit of a byproduct of just running previous tests, having you guys come in and stress test for us and have the longer play tests and stuff. So for us, it kind of just felt like a transition into that. And then we've had an ongoing alpha test for quite a while. And Ursius, hello. A Linux fan, what's going on? Hey, Chaz Solo. Garanthia. Chumpalot, Viper. Who am I missing? Killali 2000, hello. Justin said he's digging out from some snow, but fine. It's 42 degrees now. Love it. Wonderful. Hey, Gunnerwolf. For people watching the VOD, thanks again for all the wonderful comments and just being overwhelmingly positive and supportive. I don't think I could say that enough. Who knows, that may change in the coming years, especially once we start taking money from you guys. But to date, I would say it's been insane how few negative comments we've received on YouTube. Pretty wild, to be honest. That's not encouraging you to do it, but if you feel the need, if you've got to do it, if you just got to get it out and you got to say something shitty, it's fine. Hopefully I'll be the one that runs into it. I got to get in there and catch up on some thumbs up or some, what are they? They're little hearts and responses and stuff. We're really behind. But yeah, for the most part, thanks guys. I think we're at we finally got it up to 9,000, almost 10,000 subscribers on YouTube. And I mean, it's a metric. It's not like it's, it's a metric. It's cool. It's really nice. So, thanks again. Briggs 101, thanks for the follow. Dregs of Society, thank you as well. Green screen issue, top right corner. You're right. Yeah, anybody that's new here, if you've been following this, it's not a very pro setup. I'm not here to be professional at all. Actually, this is the end of my day. It is 8 p.m. here in wonderful sunny Germany. And I think my ass hit the seat at 7 a.m. So, welcome to the end of my day. I just saw Wallabus go by. Reshaders are us. Hello. Isterion, for being a first-time chatter, the green screen catch is that's a pro move. Thank you very much. I hope you stick around because every stream is a different problem with regards to either the green screen or the audio levels. Amy Wu, 1989. It'd be cool if it was 1982. Amy Wu, 1982. But I assume that you weren't born then. But either way, thank you for the follow. Archon Warlock, hello. Back when it was only like 5 of you coming in here for the first hour, it was a lot easier to say hello to everybody and catch you. So I feel bad if I miss a name, and I feel bad that I can't say goodbye to everybody before we close out each night, especially since we've been raiding people a lot more. So sorry about that. I'm going to try to catch up. Aciditude, thanks for the follow. Brostrat, BMighty82 said, I've been passing the time playing Pantheon, but the Eminem soundtrack to get my fix. It's not the same, but hey, no, it's cool. That's a way to do it. And honestly, man, like, get in there, check out Project Gorgon, get some time with that. Super cute, super quirky game. Get some time in Pantheon, see what they're doing. Sounds like they've got some stuff that they've been doing, updates. I'll be honest, I've kept up with it a lot up until probably the last 6 months, and then it's just like days are blurs. So we're in that mode of just trying to get stuff done. But yeah, check out the other games. AOA has got a, you can just do little whatever command, exclamation mark AOA to get the link in here. AOA's got a playtest coming up. You definitely want to check that out. Hey, Queech Queech, Gorf, Isrimsky, Tauntergeist. Hey, Gloomkin. Bad news, Brian. Pilgrim Burger. Glad you're liking the game. What's up, Derelict? All right, let me see who else wandered in. Incredible, what's going on? Constructive criticism is just part of the process. Hopefully constructive. Yeah. Constructive criticism's great. It's the funny stuff every once in a while on like YouTube comments where it's like, oh, copy paste, or oh, some people had somebody crash out. Oh man, it was one of those ones where it's like, oh, but that was Discord. It was just one of those ones where you're just like, you are a silly Billy. Where it's just like, I don't know, got mad that a streamer that hadn't played the game before had a key, and they were like, they got a key, and I've been here, but they were relatively new to Discord, so it's kind of funny. But it's like, I've been here, and you're just giving streamers keys. I hope you fail. And they left. I was just like, that escalated quickly. If you're out there, buddy, come back. It's rough out there. Everybody's going through something though, right? So I'm laughing with you, buddy. I'm not laughing at you. How's the ping from Germany? Let me see, actually. Good question. Well, it doesn't help that my little shaded thing is right over it. Move. It is a 99 milliseconds. Splat 86 and is that Holideer? Thank you for the follows. Smoon, what's going on? The wonderful Robert, whose music we're listening to, is in here as well. Hackback Girl, what's going on? Mr. Jigs. Oh, there's Ghastly. Loopback Elite said, greetings all, very much looking forward to dumping way too much time into this game. Why was I reading dump truck? Like my brain looking forward to, as soon as I saw dump, my brain was just like, it started leaping ahead and was trying to like stop my mouth from potentially saying whatever was about to come next. It's like dump truck? Dump on a what? Just dumping more time into the game is fine. You're right. That has been a theme the last couple of streams. The butt thing. Oh well. Again, not a professional streamer, not a professional stream. Oh. So many people want to play. There could be worse prompt, dude. It really is. It's not awesome that everybody can't come in and like have a good time this very moment. I feel bad about that. I get it. But it's pretty cool to know that people are excited about the game. From humble beginnings. Sorry, I'm just... Sean, is the grayed out social ledger tab in the social window? Yeah, it's grayed out. Well, darkened, I guess, is a way to say it. So there's more stuff that we want to do with the various ledgers. You know, especially with the core ledger, like having that really work well for people that are doing a lot of trading and stuff. What is it for though? So the idea of the social ledger is to keep a nice running list of everybody that you've grouped with, and then allow you to see, like, it's for those situations where you look back and you're like, oh, who was I grouped with over the weekend or whatever? That was that really charming gnome. Very handsome gnome, and I would like to play with them again because they were very good at every class they played. Then you would be able to find that a lot easier, and you know, maybe make a note, be able to sort. Hey, who are some clerics that I played with recently or whatever, right? So it's just that idea of like having the ledger be a thing that gives you some understanding of what you've been doing with your, you know, items and oh, actually I should probably not use that as a GM on stream. I think that's like sometimes you see weird stuff. But yeah, so it's just like this idea of, yeah, it does help with player reputation. It's very much like an opportunity for you to manage your history, and it maybe gives you opportunities to like seek people out, and over time maybe there's a bit of recognition in people that like, oh, this is people, there is an awareness of people that have grouped together and stuff. So ledger sounds like Rust's scene list. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna look and see if there's anything we can borrow ideas to inspire us. Track it down. Finding a bunch of skins and stuff. What is it? Incredible? Isn't the saying like the the key to genius is knowing how to hide your sources or something? Ali, what's going on, buddy? Ali said, don't dare mention Rust. I have PTSD from coding the launcher. Hey, but the launcher works. That's nice. Oh man, I don't... are my like notifications turned off when people hit follow? The disco ball's not popping up. I don't hear it. Is that bad? Either way, Taste the Wine, Old Draenor, Karsamir 197, and Linguini 211. Thank you for the follows, guys. Hey, what's going on, Nick? What's going on, Goblin? So, we're not going to get into... We don't do a lot of real world discussion here unless it's about, I don't know, probably something inappropriate. That is my fault. We don't do a lot of current events or whatever, but I will say that without us veering into anything political, blah, 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 I will say that our amazing Ali, he lives in Bahrain. And so just over the weekend while we're going into beta, the level of dedication from Ali is such that he's giving us reports of loud noises outside of his hacienda, and he's then continuing to ensure that things are running as smooth as possible for beta with the assistance of the team. And yeah, so, but he's safe. He's staying safe. We're forcing him to stay safe. He knows that he always has a spare bedroom here in Germany if he needs it. Things get too wacky, I'll fly in and help drag him out. Hey, Atomic Frog. Trancer 009, thank you for the follow as well. How many in beta? So, that's a good question. Old Draenor said 89 more days. Can't wait to actually play the game. This game has so much love put into it and it shows. Hey, thank you. Love and a little bit of change that we found in the couch cushions. A lot of love. So looking at daily active users so far for the playtest, last I looked, let me pull again. Our daily actives, why did I scroll past it? Has been an average of 1,300 daily active players in beta right now. So let me refresh that again. I think it got hung up. For whatever reason, it's not showing. Well, to talk to Swanee, but the numbers are there. So if the numbers can be trusted, 1,300 average players with we're keeping like a about 850 peak. So that allows us to like look and see, hey, can we let some more, can we let some more people in? I know the folks that were in alpha were asking about +1s and stuff. So yeah, Blitzsters popping right in there with it. And based on the delay, if I had to guess, you beat me to it. Conk Donkey, what's going on? Hopefully that name isn't too bad. I just immediately thought of that. Sounds like something I would call somebody in high school. Has there been any more word on the physical edition? How's the sound levels? Is it too crazy? Physical edition of the game. Physical edition of the game, Brelic, is like it's a stretch goal for us based on if people play the game. If enough people play the game long enough, then we will absolutely, we want to make a physical edition. and like cloth maps and all that stuff. But like our approach is kind of backwards. Our approach is we have to make the game good enough to get your money long enough to make additional cool stuff to sell to you, which is backwards from how it works in the last years, where it's more of we ask you for money up front to give you cool stuff, and then with the money that's left over, hopefully make a game that's worth you playing long enough to appreciate the cool stuff. So we're not just old school in the game, we're old school in how we approach business. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, if you don't like what we're doing, then you don't give us money, and then that's just kind of that, right? Like it's a pretty fair setup. We didn't promise you anything crazy, and we didn't ask anything crazy of you. You just, if you like the game, cool. If you look at the game and you're like, hey man, I wish that you know, maybe over time this would be added or changed or this and that, but we're not there yet. But especially if it's something we're like, hey, eventually we'd like to get that in, and then you're gracious enough to like be patient with us, then that's fantastic. Magic Bro, what's going on? Does that make sense? Will beta run until June, or is it just 2 months? It'll run until June. What's up, Frankenbeans? Frankenbeans said, hey Sean, Nick said if I asked, you would give me a sword of 1,000 truths that one-shots dragons and can kill other players if I want. I'd like to know in yellow, please. I'd like it in yellow. I was like, how do you know in yellow? Please confirm in snow. Max Payne, what's going on? Hello. Keep in mind, I think Nick is in here, so if you're lying on him, he'll get you. What's up, Bugbear? I love the way you spell your name, so I want to say that every time you come in. It is a lie? Well then. Now somebody's in trouble. So no word on open beta yet, even though launch is 90 days out. Open beta is going to be at least a couple of open play tests, and that's going to be open beta. At least that's the minimum that we're going to do, just to not lie to you or anything or build false expectations. In terms of when they will be, we should be able to state that pretty soon, because we did put some times in front of the team and nobody on the team is like freaked out or said time's bad for me or whatever. That said, if you're on the team and you didn't and you don't read some of the stuff I post, because I post a lot, then you should probably take a look at that one. Maybe I'll ping it again tomorrow. Curve is Lord Agrundum and Workin. Thanks for the follows. Also, AC John. You guys are just in here to hang out, right? I don't really do like key giveaways and stuff. Nick said I was today minus 2 days years old when I finally put together it was Bugbear while randomly thinking about it off stream. Yeah. Will you be able to box during beta at all? No, no plans for that. So a couple weekend play tests again is the open beta. WoW. Is that WoW that you're excited for the fact that you get to play the game for free again for a little bit before we go live, or is it WoW like I for whatever reason I hear it in like my Daria voice in my head. Vitamin X39. Thank you for the follow. Cherry Kush. Have you caught any multi-boxers yet? I think we have talked to a couple people about cutting it out. Seems like none of you give out keys, but Nick, kind of sad, really. I'll be honest with you why I don't do it. I didn't get it set up correctly. Swanee set it up for me, but I'm very frazzled because there's a bunch of stuff going on. Oddly, when you're juggling a 40-person all-volunteer distributed team across half the world that's cobbling together an MMO, then sometimes you got stuff on your brains other than like making sure that the next time you stumble into a stream that you've got the button to push to give out the free keys. So that's one thing. The other thing is, and don't take this the wrong way, because I actually, for as much as you're not happy about the number of keys that are going out, I've actually advocated for you. And you know, I'm not the only one, but I'm on team like, hey, how do we get some folks in here in a fair way? So we started with 200 keys as part of a random lottery system that Swanee coded up from scratch to ensure that you could easily opt in through a web interface and then be selected at random to come into the game for free. And then you can also you get the friend invite. He put all that together so that we could run that, and that seemed like it would be a cool thing to provide. But there has been a slight amount of like pissing and moaning. So Lance Loudpack says, well, Brelic said it's better than 0 keys, and if it's 200 plus invites, that's 400 keys. To which Lance Loudpack said, bootlicking at its finest. I pushed the button. I'm not really good at modding in Twitch, so that's a 10-minute timeout. And then if that doesn't help you adjust your attitude, mister, then when you get back, just complain some more and I'll ban you. Battle Mage Brewing said, been streaming you guys at the brewery tasting room. Oh, hey. People been asking about it and I'm educating them. See, now this is the opposite end of the spectrum. We did collaboration beers with EverQuest for their 20th and 25th anniversaries. If you guys are interested in a collab beer for EA or full release, let me know. All we ask is that we become NPCs in game in a tavern somewhere. That's a very kind offer. Fire something, hit one of us up in Discord and we'll talk about something. For in the future, probably. We're broke and we don't want to impose on you, but in the future, maybe we could do a cool thing. You know, make a thing for the team or get something out there. Bugbear said, not my fault. These devs have delicious boots. If you only knew. Swedish licorice. Crowlers 89, Osna 77, Igaloff. Thanks for the follows, guys. If you're here, if you're just here for the for potential beta invite, I apologize. I don't want to waste your time. I don't remember how to even run the thing. But what I can do is continue to look at our daily active user numbers and our concurrent player count numbers and talk with the team about getting more people in. We are looking at level distribution earlier. We'll look at like some level distribution, player segmentation, and we'll see, if we're starting to see some gaps, if we got some need to backfill a little bit. What's your ideal player count during the test? Force, I don't know that we've got like a number that's like ideal. It's just, for now, we're just kind of looking and seeing, how saturated the level ranges are. We're looking to see if we're getting enough data in on various topics, looking at the economy, looking at like how many people are in what zones and all that stuff. So we've got pretty good tooling to be able to track various metrics on that stuff. Again, thanks to the team, because a lot of I guess all of this is just stuff where we've had questions and the team's been quick to put tooling together and help us out on that front. Loopback Lee and Longshanks and Renoki, thank you guys for the follows. Carsamir 197 says, love what you guys are doing, so keep it up. Got to go back to work. Hey, enjoy work. Thanks for spending your little bit of free time away from work with us. Paladin Brewer, hello. Thank you for the follow. Yeah, let me check time-wise. It's 1843. We got about 500 players online. So like 1900 is easy to spot. Where were we at yesterday at 1900? 1900. We had about 550 to 580. So the curve's staying fairly normal. Nothing crazy. 1,655 unique accounts have been in and playing so far. We're maintaining fairly stable curves. Servers have been looking pretty stable. CCU hasn't been massive, so that means we've got some room to work. Excuse me, people have been playing. About a third of that total then, is that correct? A third? Yeah, about a third of that total has played 25 to 50 hours so far. So, doing pretty good. In terms of looking at the level distribution, we've got a few people that have really come into this hard with like a plan on how to level as fast as possible with their groups or with their little duo trio setup. So what we're seeing is there's naturally that small percentage of bleeding edge people that are going up front. I don't think I'm revealing anything crazy here and showing you this. Right, so we do have some people that are really pushing hard. But what we're seeing is a fairly normal distribution that's in line with what we'd be thinking. And again, we'll keep an eye on this, and if it's not moving forward, if we start to see that we're not getting the engagement we need, then we'll bump up the numbers. So, and it allows us to have some good discussions about certain topics, about like the degree to which gearing up needs to be factoring into those people's like experience progression sort of rate and things like that. So if you're selected for a beta key, you are allowed to stream the game. We have no NDAs. Wow, PvP nosedive today? Let me look. Scroll back up. So PvP, we currently have, well, according to this, 69 people on. And even though this data is a little behind, when did I run this? Let me run it again real quick. Okay, we got 81 people on. Per the last poll here, 1912. Yep. So definitely, because yesterday was about 120 people. So that's a nice dip. Sorry, I got to scroll down and catch up with you guys. Class distributions. Can show you distribution of playtime by class. My hairline is looking nice today. Thank you, Steve. What's up, Blobman? Stovetopicus and Merrick Wintersun, thank you for the follows. Seeing Spellblades at the bottom was kind of sad, though. Hey, you know, it'll revolve. Everybody's got his day in the sun. Is it a server cost issue to not open the floodgates? No, it's a couple of. So we have a couple of factors. One, it's we have a limited ability to provide customer service. The more people in, there are going to be more people that we need to service, pause, assist in various things. So that creates a bit of a burden for us. It means a greater influx of bugs and feedback, which we've got to dig into and then get into our system, etc. It means that it's more people that could potentially burn out on the game. Like, that's a reality as well. Yeah, the crowding in the initial zone on the first weekend was one that we're worried about. And so that's what we said, like, the goal was to look at how the numbers are looking, and if things are going well and we feel like it makes sense to let more people in, then we can let more people in. But what we didn't want to do is just let everybody in and not be able to properly support you and get way more feedback than we could handle. Have people not have a good experience because, like, Night Harbor is slammed. And also potentially have people, like, burn out. So, that said, we've started from a point of 200 per week plus a friend invite for each one of those. And so that's 400 per week. We know that's not a ton, but to us, we said we had 2,000 people already flagged for, like, previous closed testing. So how many of those people are going to show up? And then we'll just start rolling them in. But for us, that was kind of like a minimum. The option to increase that number exists, but we're not going to increase it just because, like, people come into streams and stuff, and like, got their little pouty pants on and are being mean about it, right? Like, you know, for us, we want you to be in here. We want you to like have a good time. But we also want to make sure that you know, we're being smart and letting you in. Who knew that capacity planning was a real thing? It's wild. Primus MMO gave us a shout out. Hey, thank you, Primus MMO. Zygax, similar to Gary Gygax, if that's pronounced correctly. Zygax64, thank you for the follow. Will there be a wipe after beta and anytime after the June launch? There will be a wipe from beta going into early access, and then we're not going to wipe from that point. Like, I can't imagine why we would have to wipe. We might have to roll back the like server if something crazy happened, like the economy was flooded with some wacky item I made or something like that, but there should be no need for wipes. Ethereal Fox, thank you for the follow as well. So how does the friend invite work? If you haven't friend invite, Swanee literally just made a video to show us this, show me this. You get a code and you can give your friend that code. And he, like, I'm trying to picture the video right. I just watched it like 2 days ago, but my brain's fried. I've seen the video. It will make sense if you have the invite. Let's leave it at that. I can dig it up in a minute. I feel bad that I can't speak to it properly. What obscene acts do I need to commit in order to get invited to the beta? Bare necessities. We are not that type of game. I think you are looking for BG3. Anyone need a friend? I will gladly accept your code. Yeah, I think that's basically what our Reddit has become. Hey, Orthax. Lance Loudpack said, so I have learned my lesson. I won't say anything negative about the game anymore. If that is your takeaway from getting timed out for calling somebody a bootlicker for just explaining how things work, you know what? I'll take it. I'm glad you've learned your lesson. A bootlicker. I am the loving robot. Brimstone Wolf, it is true. The name is not a lie. Probably. Oh. Guys, when we talk about the beta codes and when we, like, you know, joke and stuff, don't get me wrong. We absolutely 100% appreciate the fact that you guys are excited to get in and play. And like I said, we have limited options on how we can handle it, but just let everybody play as much as they want for 3 months wasn't really, that didn't seem like a viable option for us, unfortunately. I do not hate you, Lance. Loud packs. You even when you came in here earlier, you're like, hi, and I'm like, I don't even, maybe I didn't say it out loud. I was like, that's a cool name. Don't hate anybody. We're not mad at you. Just, you got to be nice, man. Like, don't be too grumpy that you're not in beta yet. Hey, Olgo Dev. Do you have an idea of what your monthly operating costs will be, assuming you have 5 to 6 servers running? We do. And the thing is, my inability to speak to anything at this time of day, I'm not going to get that right. But we have it in a spreadsheet. Did you know that we actually have an accountant on the game? We have like a real life gentleman who does accounting professionally for a couple of cool companies, actually, over the years. And a lawyer. The lawyer is also an environment artist whose zones you've enjoyed. But the accountant is not, he is not a multi-classer. He is our accountant. And the accountant, we put those numbers like operating expense projections and stuff like that into the spreadsheets. Old Dark Viking, hey, thank you very much for that. Does the accountant play? Yes. That's the interesting thing about our team is we've got like an interesting variety of real life jobs mixed with cool evening jobs making the game. But they're all very much M&M enjoyers and legacy gamers. There's Mimi. Oh, I am. I'm standing right there, Mimi. They can't see me. I'm invisible. I love the idea of like Mimi cornering the market, having the coolest shop set up. Are we getting a look at charm? It seems to be a big issue as it's slightly better to charm. Yeah. Charm is being looked at. Have we posted anything about that? It's worth asking for the details in the next Nick stream, but I know 100% that the guys are discussing it. The guys are discussing it, and I am taking as much advantage of it as I possibly can on my play character at the moment. But I was on my way in here, Criddle, and I saw, what was it? What was the title of your stream? It was like the charmed elephant and it got cut off, and I was like, I know what they're talking about, but it's cool because the team was already talking about it as well. Iberian, thank you for the follow. Oh, I want to pronounce this right so bad. Calidoran? Oh, I don't think I got the timing right on that. Calidoran97, thank you for the follow. Is that an I? Injawa and Myopis, thank you guys for the follows as well. Hey, Nick just said charm adjustments are being made so it's much harder to maintain charm against higher level targets. Crash Daily. Duke Ruker, thank you for the follows as well, guys. Are you guys going to have forums like old school MMOs? We've discussed it over the years. The main reason why we don't have them already is because we're already spread so thin that it's hard for us to keep up with everything going on in the Discord, like forums, the channels and the forums we've set up there, let alone another set of forums. And we didn't want to have a setup of like a big fleet of mods that then ultimately, you know, it's just a layer that can sometimes get out of hand. So we just said, let's just keep it on Discord for now. Alex asked, do you think the world feels dangerous enough to low-level players? Any plans to tweak anything? Or are you guys good where you're at? That's a fun question. I think as we work through beta, it would be nice to continue to ensure that there are elements within the world, even at the low levels, that make it feel foreboding, especially as you start to creep out. But we don't want to necessarily make everything feel that way, right? So like the inclusion of better zone sweepers or, you know, patrols that keep you on your toes is always nice. We've got some rares that pop up every once in a while, like the, was it Night Terror, that pops up and then kind of kills a few folks so they can yell out and then somebody can come and get it. So we've kind of oscillated on this one in the past where just the overall experience was too hard and then it was too easy and then it's too hard again. I think right now it doesn't... I have to play some more classes, but right now it feels a little bit nerfed, but we got to look at, okay, so do we continue to tweak it overall, or is it just a matter of ensuring that there are those moments that keep you on your toes? I don't know. Does that sound like too much of a bullshit answer? I swear it's the truth. Things that are constantly on our mind is, does the game feel challenging enough without just like completely shutting everybody out? Is progression feeling slow enough without just feeling like an absolute slog? Does itemization feel like it matters and people are like actually going and seeking out different camps? So those are big topics. Eris Online said, is anyone playing MMO on Linux? Is it possible? Ollie responded with yes, and there's a big improvement there on the way. Crash Daily, Apostic Fire, and Kangaroo Lover. Thanks for the follows, guys. And I started rambling. I don't even know if Alex responded. Scrolling up. How much has experience progression changed in beta versus prior open tests? And also, are the racial traits in provision, etc., working in beta? Racial traits should be working in beta. The degree to which it's changed based on prior tests, I think the last bigger changes were already present towards the end of alpha. But Ollie could, if he's listening, could probably speak to the last like big. Alex said, it does seem a little easy in Fail and Draw, however I'm an archer and can kite pretty easy. Yeah, that's not just the Fail and Draw thing. Oh, hey, Mimi. That's an archer thing. It's being discussed. Game Enjoyer, thank you for the follow. The real Dinotron said, was bummed not to get into the first beta wave. Can't wait for more. Hey, good luck on the next wave, and we're going to be working on getting you guys in here. I haven't... Let me check... Let me make sure I'm not missing any crazy messages. I've always got to watch Slack in case I accidentally did something. And the team's like, don't say that. No, I'm safe. Out of all the others, you seem the most genuine and chill. No shade to the other devs. Just saying thank you. I am the most genuine and I am the most chill. I am the humblest. Take that, Zukin. Zukin's cult's gonna be standing over me in as I'm sleeping tonight. the cult of the cult of Zucan is going to appear out of a cloud of bats, out of a cloud of winged lizards. No way, Goblin is most chill. Goblin is very chill. Nick has no chill because of the caffeine. I say as I literally have a caffeine pouch in my mouth just trying to stay awake because I'm old. Flea IP, thanks for the follow. Sea Falcon TV and Melancholy. Yeah, the Kirklands got him going. I'm gonna come, Baron. I'm gonna come back to your question in a second. Let me scroll up and make sure I'm not missing anything. Zillith responded earlier, said people who expect infravision to instantly negate all darkness might feel like it is not, but as Incredible said, it is working. Somebody was asking if it was working. Excuse me. It is tuned to let you see, but not completely negate the need for light sources at all times. And this reminded me of this. This isn't to allude to the fact that we're going to be changing anything dramatically, but also keep in mind, guys, we're trying to take an approach on a lot of things where we err on the side of being able to make it more powerful over time or add a more powerful option over time, as opposed to having to nerf something or risk just having the experience feel too nerfed. So it kind of goes back to like the question that Alex was asking earlier with regards to difficulty, right? If we're to err, it's better to err on the side of a little too difficult or a little too restrained than it is to like just, you know, have you come in and go hog wild, and then we're like, ah, shit, we either have to nerf it or the game's just kind of done. JJWF gave a shout out. Hey, thank you. I didn't look. Hopefully he's playing and enjoying. All right, so Baron 65 caffeine pouch. WTF is that? It's just caffeine and delicious. It's a wonderful... The Germans make the best cola flavored everything. So it's a cola flavored caffeine pouch. Baron 65 said, curious on your thoughts. I did see some of you guys in the other streams where brand new players were in, but right away were complaining they did not know how to play the game. But when told there was a new player guide, they would scoff and say no one has time to read it. Feel like this can be a hard thing to deal with, but wonder how the teams felt about it. I think to be real with you, that's going to depend on the team member. We have varied opinions on the team. I think, it'll range everything from like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we had a tutorial all the way through, right? Like we discuss all the options, and the team comes from a variety of backgrounds, and some people started with, WoW or, OSRS or EQ or before that or after that or whatever, right? So we have a lot of different opinions, but I think the team also understands what we're trying to do with regards to the approach. And we had a discussion on this topic when I woke up this morning. There was a comment about it, right? And we, just following up. And essentially the idea is similar to what I was just saying about we don't want to ruin, we don't want to blow progression. We don't want to ruin certain things. We're erring on the side of, a little more friction or a little more, hey, actually you do either need to read the manual, or you need to come in and, on the stream yesterday, I apologize. I'm not necessarily a Twitch, YouTube native, so I forget his name. I got a couple clips off it. I don't want to say Nexon. Next. I'm screwing it up. I feel bad. Awkward. Anyways, the Canon. That's it. Canon. Okay, sorry. I was way off. Anyways, the XO threw me. It's going to be awkward, but it's like I'm essentially the Facebook of the team, right? Like I'm the older sort of like, I think I've said before, my VCR has finally hit the stage where it's like blinking 12 and I've got to ask for, I've got to ask somebody on the team to fix it for me. So anyways, Cannon will understand. He seems like a very understanding person if he saw that I got his name wrong. Anyway, be nice to yourself. I'm kidding. I'm great to myself. I told you. My earlier response is I obviously love me. But like he said, when people come in, most people, even if they don't know old school, they do know chat box. And he made that point during his stream of like, okay, so if you don't want to read the manual, if you don't want to hit, like we put in some tools. Like if you hit /help space any word, so like pet, it gives you a bunch of, right? So once you start learning some stuff like that, if you use the chat box, and we were just talking about chat boxes today, actually, like we're going to continue to refine the chat boxes to just be as loving to you and accessible and pretty and functional as possible, because a lot of what's happening is going through these different boxes. But people can come in, and if they can /OOC, one of the things that we've noticed in our playtests is there is a significant amount of people just like asking each other stuff, and people are saying ooh, got the squeaky voice. People are saying like, hey, meet me over here and I'll show you where that's at or whatever, right? So what about a chat channel like help that isn't OC? Or is that redundant? It tends to be redundant, and the challenge with anything that's like a helpful thing, because it's also kind of like, what about an NPC that can answer questions for you? The problem is you've still got to find it. So that can either be like your default channel when you first log in for new players, or they're going to have other channels up anyway, and so they have trouble finding the help channel that's there. And by the time they realize that a help channel exists, they're now expert enough that they could probably get the help without the channel. And so now if you have a pop-up that pops up to show you the help channel, then that helps. But then we start going down the road of the pop-ups, which we've discussed. We have an actual, like we have a tooltip feature ticket that's outlined, and we'll figure out the degree to which we use it in game. The thing that we really want to do is take the plane of meat, the offline area that we have, and like really just fill it full of helpful information. So it's an offline tutorial, so that by the time you get in, depending on when we actually get it in, then you have the ability to like, all right, come in. You've been unable to play in beta because we only gave 200 crappy invites per week, and so you didn't make it in because there's now 15,000 people that want to get in, and so you've been playing around in the offline tutorial. But that would also mean that we got to get it done like pretty quick. So I don't know. How about putting Mud Actions window on a tab as well and keep it hidden? That is actually on the list of things to do, Tsunami-san. Encrypt and I were talking about that earlier today. So the idea would be that it's essentially it's a dockable tab that's a lot easier to just kind of like, and it should start as a dockable tab and then just like be able to pop out if you want. Hardest part about newbie chat experience is having to sort all the excess things out. Faction, loot experience. I miss so much info off the bat because it scrolls too fast. That is a very important point, and that's something that, again, we really want to spend some time focusing on chat boxes and getting some better defaults in here. A lot of that stuff should already be going to different tabs, and the tabs should be very apparent that something's going on, and then you can click and check it out. So we really want to work on additional usability and just readability and stuff in chat. Who is Sean? The guy talking. I am he. Mud actions are text-based interaction that you can do with the world. And so it's cribbed off of old like text-based adventure games. So it's like slash, push, pull, rub. All your favorite hobbies. What's the highest level in beta right now? I think we've got 2 level 30s, or is there a level 31? I'd have to check again. Nope. You are correct. There are 2 level 31s. It's interesting talking to one of the guys in one of the groups. Like they're pushing hard, but they really planned their approach on this. So it's cool to kind of see them go through and gather that data. Datasaurus, thank you for the follow. 53 Gnome, Suffla, Wrecking Bones, and Jammer 111. Thanks, guys. Steel Faith said, "Yo, brother, I just want to say thanks for all the time you and the developers put in a game like this, because it's what I've been waiting for." Hey, thank you. And thanks for swinging by. Like, you didn't have to do it, but you did, and that's cool. PJ Banjo, Shade Stomp, Steel Faith. Thanks for the follows, guys. Robert, you missed news? Dude, one of the brands that I have here is actually, it's from Sweden. It's not snooze. It's just, all it is you can get flavor pouches, and you can get, these have a little bit of caffeine in them. You can get like different amounts of caffeine. I don't know, and I'm not advertising that. I don't know what the rules are on Twitch. I don't know if I'm allowed to say caffeine or whatever. When I tip ammo, coconut. I just read it as coconut. Coconut fibers. I don't know if we can even get those over here in the EU. Keston TV, thank you for the follow. Hey, what's up, Hesan? Can we have extra bag space just for trade skill bags? We're going to be working on bag space progression a little bit, and ensuring that we've got all our ducks in a row with regards to bag space or storage progression, because storage is not just going to be bag space in different bag types, but it'll also then be something where you factor in your pack animal, right? When you go over here and you buy yourself a donkey or a horse, or one of the cool future pack animal types that we come up with. I'm going to leave my light off so I don't disturb them. When you get yourself a donkey, then you can pack more stuff on there and get different rigging and different bags and stuff for them. And then housing will play a factor. And eventually carts and caravans, stuff like that. Keston, if I didn't already tag you, THG802, Dead Poets, Wise Sage, and Carlos, GN, thanks for the follows, guys. Will there be guild houses? Yeah, guild houses at the moment are not restricted to guild. It's just going to be cost-based, and we'll let you guys figure out how you're going to pay for it. If you're not familiar with what's going on, when you're running through the city, I got my spotlight on. When you're running through the city, you're seeing a variety of housing. It's just distributed throughout. And some of these are big and elaborate, and some of these are just small single rooms. And so you guys, and we've got to work through pricing. We're really going to be looking at kind of the flow of incoming coin versus, oh, watch out if you run in here. We do have random things that'll just kill you in the city. Sorry. These spaces will be defined by like a different volume type once we get it in. So you'll be able to put out some like lawn furniture and flamingos and stuff, but like the appropriately in character version. Will you be able to decorate the outside of the housing to help add to the visual ecology? Conk Donkey, yep, that is the hope, is that over time, we've got a variety of signs and door types and little, we'll probably add on some attachments. We'll squeeze in as much variety as we're able to support optimally. And they're different size. Like, look at this cute little door here. But Charity said, wow, I can finally live the dream of owning a home in my 30s. We're here for you. Even if the economy hates you, we don't. See? Only $15 a month. And you can live out your anything before 1990s fantasy. What's up, Encrypt? We were just talking about you a bunch. We were talking about UI stuff. Timmy Vortex, Revise. It is a monthly fee. Some people do not like that. But for us, what we've always thought since the beginning of the project is we charge you a monthly fee. If you like it, you come back the next month. We charge you that fee again. We don't have any microtransactions. Anything that you see in game that somebody's running around with or whatever, they earned it. How did they earn it? Probably by sitting their ass in a chair for a very long time. Ideally, hopefully. And so it's the great equalizer of the early 2000s. And that's kind of that. And so if we have more monthly subs, that means we have more need for GMs, which means we also have more money to give the GMs. If the subs go down, then we have less need. Sorry, GM shit. The way that just came out. We'll optimize. We're not going to overhire GMs. Don't worry, GMs. Guys, you can't let the number go down. They're counting on you. We're investing a lot behind the scenes in like just good GM tools. I'm like, now I'm trying to recover from that one. Sorry. Yeah, well, there you go. That's what happens when you quit playing. It's on your conscience, chat. Lando's Lair. Speaking of housing, this is probably right up your alley. So like we've got some crazy cool. I'm a GM. I can just go in, right? Can you have a look at the apartment before buying? I think you can. I could have sworn you can. If that's not the case, then we'll fix that. Can you buy 3 months in the future? You can. You can. We can set how many months or how much time you can buy ahead, and right now they're all defaulted to like 3 months of prepay. Lando said, looks like a proper layer. First pass approved. Exactly. I think we got one that's like more of a layer. And somebody had this in closed testing. I'll show you. You can enter any unowned house, Ali said. Will there be a guide program in the future? Will be strictly paid staff? We're going to try to focus on paid staff. Things can get a little hinky at times. Things can get a little sketchy when you work with volunteers. I don't know about the idea of working with volunteers for years. No, on the guide program though, in all seriousness, yeah, sorry, the entire team. And that was the day they mutinied. Dude, check out this layer. On the guide side, it is one of those things where it's a lot to wrangle, and I started as a guide before I became a GM. It can be a lot to wrangle, and then it becomes a bit of a... It's one thing when we're all volunteers. It's another thing when, you know, the team starts getting paid, and then we've got volunteers, and they're putting in a bunch of work, and they're like, hey, I'm putting in this work, but like, where's my compensation, right? Like, that's when it gets weird. The volunteer thing works at the moment because we're all volunteering, and then when we have cash, then we've got a plan for how we're going to handle that. And hopefully that doesn't get weird too, but hey. That is part of just like running a business. Cole Powers, thank you for the follow. Do you think the price is fair? Inflation says you guys should be selling it for over $25 a month. It depends on who you ask. If you ask a number of people on the internet, we should not be charging $15. So I think $15 is a fine thing. It's as much as like an American foot-long sandwich at this point. So that seems to be like a decent price anchor. Foot-long sandwich. Back in my day, those used to be $5. They were. $5 foot-long meatball sub from Subway was amazing. And I've seen some people be like, oh, you know, $15 is... They're asking for, as, you know, as much as WoW or this or that. But you got to understand, like, this is actually... This is, Is it artisanal? Fair trade? This game is organic. It's bio. They say bio in Germany. That means organic, bio. Cobalt 66, CRC 1988. Thanks for the follows. We are, yeah, we're grass fed. The gnomes are free range. Is beta going how you guys envisioned it? Yeah, so far it's been going well. Like I said before, we'll keep an eye on like the player counts and just make sure that we've got enough folks in and stuff like that. But overall, it's been going well. People have been generally behave. While I got you here and I'm actually thinking about it, hold on. Let me find the tab for the launch server. If you guys have not, if you want to do us a favor and give us some additional data, that's very helpful. Open it on a second tab or whatever. But if you would, excuse me, if you would, click the link and go to the server selection poll. It says poll, but it's going to be a system that we can use where we may use it to help you with some things before launch, where you can move around, you can organize with your people and like pick the server that you want to meet on and all that stuff. And we'll look at expanding the selections if needed. We'll look at giving them proper names. We'll look at providing you with cluster info so you can see what servers may be added if we have more people than expected, or how they may collapse if we have fewer people than expected, and thus also fewer GMs. Sorry. We will provide you all that information, but every bit of like interaction with that gives us nice data, right? So then we can look at this kind of data and get a feel for how people are distributing themselves, and kind of like the higher we can make the participation rate, the more we can kind of prepare for what's going on with regards to potential day one scenarios. Are the servers located in different places? Is the EU PvE server in the EU or the USA? That is the hope, that we can plan for that. Right now, I forget if we got more than one location. I don't know if Ollie's still in there. But we've relocated our servers at the end of alpha into the US. They were out of like the Netherlands and then somewhere else for a while. But now they're in the US. Ollie was there. Yeah, the reason why US West is the biggest option is because a bunch of people picked it when it was just like PvE 1 or PvE 2, and they haven't gone back in and updated it. That said, I wouldn't be shocked if we had slightly more people on the West Coast because of California, and I mean, the Western states and Texas are pretty big for tech and gaming. 5'3" Uber Eats driver, purge the city. Monster Rakos, thank you guys for the follow. There's more people on East. US East is usually is normally a mix of South America too. Interesting. Are you going to be playing your game casually too? Like, is there a chance we might group up with you in game? Yeah. I'm not on my play character here. I'm just on a GM character for that reason. Just updated your East. Thank you for that. Don't have access, but I would assume those results are currently skewed to older choices. Michael, that is absolutely correct. And we're going to continue to try to get people to update and participate with it. It's not like it's not going to kill us if it's not super accurate, but I do think that the more we can help you guys organize and find your servers in advance, the less of a shit show it's going to be on day one. Is that Inissas Accelerate? Thank you for the follow. I've always asked about the faith system, but how much of that is in for beta? Sorry if that's been answered already. Yeah, never apologize for asking a question that's like good-natured. We've got the bare basics in. I don't want to undersell it, but we've got like the bare basics in for faith. There's more work that needs to go into that. The challenge that we'll have is we've got a lot of UI work, and the faith system is tied into that, and previously was being handled by the same person doing that work. So we'll just kind of see. But the hope is to have it in for beta. Yeah, Encrypt said I have a full UI done for it already. Oh. Grousbach, thanks for the follow. Yeah, so it's just a matter of like then getting some of the progression with Faith hammered out a little bit. I think the reality is for beta, we're going to cap it. Like we've discussed, like 5 or 6 tiers for Faith progression. We're probably going to cap it a bit lower. If we can get in just the first couple of tiers, that'll be good. And if we can work out the interaction with alignment and some of the other little bits, then I think that would be a nice starting point going into early access, and then we can go from there. Because with Faith, you can always renounce your faith as you go. So when you pick your faith at the character creation stage, and you realize like, oh, later, hey, I don't want to follow Haradrel or Sorfall or whatever, you can renounce your faith, and then you can start to follow a new faith or new. And the hope is with that sort of level of fluidity that you may find certain cults that you can join over time. New gods may be discovered. New gods may make their presence known. Will you have an atheist option, not just agnostic? No. It's hard to be an atheist in a world full of gods, even if they don't make themselves very present. I believe in nothing, Zalabowski. That was the worst German accent. I believe in nothing, Lebowski. I think if I wasn't on stream, I could actually probably do the German accent. That's actually a hard set of words, though, with a German accent. We believe in nothing, Lebowski. Nihilist, dude. Yeah. I can't wait to have a deep elf convert to the goddess of bees. Sticks and Stones 77, that's the idea. The idea is for people that really don't mind grinding a ton of experience or a ton of faction and being like my dear friend Brex. Brex, who pops in here every once in a while, he plays a troll, Brex the troll. And he was also the troll king of, like, he was the troll king of the halflings. You could find him in a misty thicket, like sitting on top of one of the huts because he had factioned up to the point where he could actually just go hang out there. And that was the thing that he was into. Would you describe Eminem as the ultimate boomer game? I think we're probably pretty solid on that front. We tend to not like describe ourselves as ultimate anything, right? Like that seems a little, we don't want to be that dude. But I think we're pretty boomery. I think we're pretty good. Now, for people that see it as something other than a boomer game, then that's cool as well. Gen X more than boomer? I think that's fair, but we kind of, like, we get called boomers by the millennials and the zoomers, and that's okay. Jinja Jiang, thank you for the follow. I am quite thoroughly Gen X. You're very astute. Is Eminem based on an RPG system like D&D or something? We like to crib from a number of sources on that front. Oh, nice. There should have been an atheist option in EQ. The gods are things that can be defeated, just like anything else. If you achieve the level of power to defeat them, that doesn't make you a god, and to a character, it could further reinforce the mindset. I mean, I don't think I'm smart enough to actually work through the philosophy on that one. Because it's like, are you an atheist if you realize they're gods, but you just don't respect them anymore? Yeah, is that more of an anti-theist? But if you're killing gods, then you are kind of anti-theistic. Oh, okay. Stavel said, with EA being slated, I saw this one earlier, sorry. With EA being slated for June 1st, is there anything that would delay that date, and how far ahead would we potentially know it is confirmed or delayed? Trying to plan days off from work. It's hard for us to envision what could potentially delay that date. I mean, again, as we were saying earlier, and just, you know, the same caveats, not to discuss current events or go down any paths that we don't do in here, but like Ali's currently in Bahrain, and, you know, making sure beta goes off without a hitch while Patriot batteries are firing nearby. So we're pretty dedicated, pretty focused on making this thing happen. Yeah, so EMP could potentially, but I would say that the main things that could potentially stop us from going into early access are something that would make us not really care about video games anymore, and that's not going to happen. We're going to be fine. I would say that, yeah, if something like screwed up the internet, but again, we got bigger issues. If we found something that we had missed all the way up until now, until like through all of our play tests, and it was just catastrophic, and we couldn't figure it out before then we'll let you know, but hopefully we don't find out last minute. We've had a lot of play tests. We've had a lot of stress tests. I think we're pretty good in terms of contingencies on the team. Now, but realize, like, we may go into early access, and some people, I think it's inevitable that people say that, you know, a certain percentage of people say that we should have waited and gone in later. That's inevitable when you're doing an early access MMO. But that's not going to stop us. I mean, we've worked through the 6 stages of vaporware all the way up to, like, we're past years past vaporware, to the point of, like, mainly just, I think, riding around of the 5th, 6th stage, where it's kind of like they'll go into EA and only 500 people will be playing in 3 months. So I think we've just kind of stabilized there. But that said, that's not going to scare us away from going into EA. So now, was there, I don't know, I guess in theory there could be like some crazy good opportunity that comes up. And if that were to be something where it was like, you know, whatever, Bezos showed up, or one of you guys actually won the lottery, are you getting your tickets? That is not financial advice, but are you getting your tickets? Everybody's like, how can I help? How can I help? We have yet to see a lotto winner in here. Are you even trying? I'm just kidding. But if you do win, please, once you get all the legal stuff hammered out. Yeah, I guess if there's just like some exceptional opportunity and we're like, hey, we could provide you with a much better game, but it's going to be another 6 months or a year or whatever. But in that case, we would, whatever that would be, would have to be set up so that you guys have the ability to play. So yeah. June 1st, that's the goal. Sean just wants a Bitcoin stuffed into his thong. It's true. Can you say the player counts difference between PvP server and PvE right now? Xenocider, yeah, I should be able to. I don't think it's a big secret. Well, I can't do simple math, so I will tell you the numbers and then you can figure it out. It looks like the last time this data was pulled, it was 555 in total with 449, so 450 and 100. That math I can do. Oh wait, I didn't even have to do math. I just had to read the numbers out. Shit. If UAP stop their scouting mission, begin to attack on humanity. Oh, Ollie just read off even more accurate numbers. That's cool. NV Arizona says, never really defeated the gods in EQ. They always came back to fight again and farm for item. It's true. Frickin' Zerbuxaruk. Incredible said, hey, I offered Nick $1 million for Alpha, and he turned it down. It's... I know that that's what the NDA said you're supposed to say, but I am curious where he got all the Kirkland. Ginger said, counterpoint, several people would love to be able to play now, even in current state, and they would happily pay for that privilege. If people complain about this game in EA, they need to bounce in. People are allowed to complain. Beta Key Lotto. Friday. Sounds like we need more PvP invites, Fart Nugget. I don't know that we can specifically invite for PvP. We didn't think that far ahead. Shit, maybe Swanee needs to do that. Maybe we just need a PvP invite, but you get invited, you have to play on PvP. We should ask Swanee about that. PvP only invite sounds like a Fallout Vault experiment. Just monkeys running around with pots on their head. How do you change the font size in game? I believe it's /chat font size and then a number. Yes. But a cool thing to learn is if you have a question like that in the future, do /help space chat. Let's see what that brings up. Oh yeah, I don't want to show you those commands. Enigma said, sign me up for PvP. I was interested anyway. Hey, in all seriousness, if we figure out that that's a viable option, maybe we'll do that. We got to boost their numbers. Oh, there's Swanee. Cat911 says, I would buy a closed beta key. I know you guys said that you don't want to sell the access, but plenty of us are willing to test subjects. We just can't do it. We appreciate it so much, but we just can't. Playeromatics, Strong Beer, thanks for the follows. Somebody was asking a question earlier. I meant to read it. I saw it go by. I want to scroll up and find it, but it's probably gone off the screen. There are actually not 11,000 entries in the Beta Lotto now. Unfortunately, it's at 15. So we understand that that makes it even harder for you guys, but we'll see if we can get more of you in there. I missed the question. I don't see it. Oh well, maybe it'll come up again. Metrobald asked, Robot, has there been any entertainment of a PvP system that's something like faction-based? I'm typically a PvP server person, but everyone being a potential threat feels overwhelming. Just my personal experience, obviously, love every bit of what it plays for. First of all, thank you for the kind words. It's a question of population. I'll be honest with you. If we had the numbers to support like a handful of different PvP servers, hey there. If we had the numbers to support a handful of PvP servers, we'd absolutely be doing a variety of different wacky things with team servers and things like that. So it's just something, it's kind of like anything else we do where if the game grows in that regard, then we absolutely have ideas and the desire to do things. Any update on alpha testers getting a friend key? Devil Inside asked. We've been following the player counts since we kicked off beta, and it's something we're discussing behind the scenes. Are you going to do any sort of in-game tutorials to help with new player retention? Nope, no plans for in-game tutorials. We'd like to get a really nice, robust offline tutorial available and maybe make a couple of little changes here and there to help with some of to help guide people towards other players in a way that's maybe more intuitive and things like that, but we just see a lot of value in players helping players. You know what I mean, player? People are very willing to help. People have been very cool in OOC. People have made friends in OOC already. Some people probably created tons of accounts to increase their chance at the raffle. Longbow, that is not as easy as it would maybe seem in our system. Todd asks, but it got blocked for some reason. Allow. Why did that get blocked? And now I hit allow and now it disappeared. Now I can't find it. Oops, I missed Atomic Frog going back to work. Osmos said, was it mine? Okay, I think it actually was. I'm sure you talked about it, but how did you guys enjoy Canon's stream yesterday? Sounded like a lot of good info and tips from someone who hasn't really played these games. Probably not. LOL. Actually, it was a really cool stream. I thought I'll be honest, I wasn't sure what to expect at all. So I was kind of like, okay. That's, Yeah, so because he's got like a lot of followers, and his chat was kind of like, what's going on here? And I'll be honest with you, I really enjoyed it. There are a couple different points in there where like I get the frustration and the challenges and stuff, but like he was very gracious. He was very, I think, very objective and fair. And I the couple of times where he mentioned stuff like it would be cool to play with other streamers, like get in and just figure stuff out. I was like, that's, that sort of like initial thinking of, this would be cool to figure out with other people. That mentality, I guess, is I was looking for a word that meant like inclination, I guess. XV, thank you for the reminder. I'll come back to that in a second. But that inclination to like want to figure stuff out, and like I really respected the point that he was making with regards of like, hey, make this a little bit more intuitive to find, maybe improve that, but then let people figure stuff out. That's what this game's about. I was like, he gets it. Like that is very much yes. So that was really cool. I thought it was cool. The team enjoyed it. We appreciate the kind words. We appreciate the time that he spent playing it. And folks like that, I'm like, it's really rad to have them check it out, and if they like it, fantastic. If it's not their jam, like he said, it's not necessarily the thing that he would typically play, then that's fine as well. Just especially if you're being that fair about it, I think that's great. So to XV's thing, guys, we love you a ton, our regular community members and people that have just like been around and been with us. You got to keep in mind that, I mean, you don't have to do anything. You're your own human beings, right? We can't tell you what to do, man. Like, we're not gonna tell you you have to. But if you could not, like, when people are like, oh well, but I don't like blah blah blah, well then this game's not for you, like, piss off. It's just like, whoa, calm down. It's just, don't have to argue with people. If people don't like something we're doing, if people say something like we're whatever's, which I don't think there was much of that going on, but like whenever that stuff's just, we get that you're passionate. I know that we've repeated the message that the game's not for everyone. But you do, whether you believe it or not, you do kind of represent the community when you're out there wilding out like that. So keep it in mind. Or don't. But if you want to be nice to us, like if you want to do something for us, everybody's always asking like, what can we do for you guys? You guys have been fantastic about getting the word out. You guys have been great about like bringing your friends and family and guilds and stuff like that in. And so, just keep that in mind. Like, just be good global citizens or something. All right, so let me scroll back up, and I'm just gonna, before I click iTodd's thing before it disappears, whatever the auto modding's going on there, it made it disappear when I hit approve before, but I'm going to. Oh, okay. Actually, it's been approved. He said, with the streaming embargo lifted and so many more eyes on the project, have you and your team needed to adjust with an influx of feedback from viewers' community? Are there any examples of unexpected pivots and sin? It's a good question. We're not prone to a lot of pivoting. Yeah. That's a great point, Nick. And sorry, I absolutely meant to. I even mentioned this offline earlier. So all of that said, the people that have been a little more passionate about their response or whatever, it is very much a minority within the community. We understand that it's a vocal minority. The community has been incredibly chill, as he said. You guys have been really welcoming, and I think for the most part, that's why the community's been able to grow as it has. We've got some people on Reddit that are really great. I think Magic Hot and stuff like that. Who else is there? I don't know why I said stuff like that. Because Magic Hot's like it's a name, but also it made me think of like stuff. But the folks on Reddit that have been just kind of like responding with good info and all that, that's cool. We appreciate it. You guys have been great. So yeah, overall I think it's been a great community. Like I said at the very beginning of the stream, the vast majority of the comments are positive. People are helpful. You know, and like Eggplant Infamous, it's just, you know, when folks come in, they're like, oh, but this other person's toxic or whatever. You know what? If they're being toxic, then we'll see that. People will discover that on their own. If they're not being toxic, then there's no reason to like fortune tell that that's going to happen or whatever. We've got a lot of new people coming into the community, and you know, for people like me, that's like not as in touch with some of the various YouTube trends or Twitch trends over the last 10 years. Like, I judge everybody that comes in based on their actions within our community, and that's that. And if people are like, hey, I don't like this person or something they said or something they did or whatever, then just don't watch. Lance Alpax said, Sean, you know I made a mistake, right? You forgive me, right? That is water under the bridge. I don't even remember you ever making a mistake. Actually, no, I just remember what you said. It was kind of funny. Forlorn Peter. That's a sad name. I'm sorry for you. But welcome. Thank you for the follow. I almost jumped my ass right off this boat. Oops. Captain Swanee, do not let us make sure that we arrive at our destination. I did smile, Lance. It's no biggie. Is there a world map? I love the old EQ world maps. Our goal, one of our stretch goals, if we can maintain enough subscribers for long enough to have money, we would like to get some maps made and then sell them to you at a profit. Are there plans to have aliases in the mud system? Einver, do you mean like a greater number of like potential prompt options or something with a bit more leniency? Well, interesting. We all zoned in on top. Hey there. That's inappropriate. But very cool looking character setup though. I would not mess with her. She looks like she would probably kill me with that pickaxe. But why do I have a pet window that's popped up? Character art is amazing. Z-Bros always deliver. The Zebros. Callum said, robot, sometimes you get a pet window or a duplicate model spawned on boat zone loading. Do we know why? Why are boats so weird in every game? Guys, can enough of you please play the game for long enough for us to eventually get player-owned boats that can go exploring the world in game? Stretch goal. Could we have that once we get 1.0 pretty well in the bag? Love to see NPCs on boats. Yeah, that'd be a nice upgrade as well. Ivor said, yes, less rigidity in the prompts, but also the ability to change how input works, such as being able to do P instead of pick. Oh, interesting. But what about... But we've got, like, pick, pull, push? Do we no, we don't have pick. Do we have pick? Let me look. Place, pull, push. But we do want to figure out a way to make both dialogue and mud actions a little more lenient without us having to like do all of it manually. Somebody was talking about the boat ride recently. Oh, actually, I think it was Alex. Keep in mind, like, the boat ride from Night Harbor up to Keeper's Bite is... Once the game's, like, 1.0, that is probably one of our shorter routes. And then if we can get past 1.0, then we definitely want to do some stuff that's... But like going from Night Harbor around the southern coast all the way up to East Hem is it's gonna take quite a while. Like, what's considered a short trip? Like 30 minutes? Oh, you'll see. Like, we should make it up there and we'll see how long it takes. About 20 minutes. So somewhere between 20 and 36 minutes, depending on if you take Ollie or Callum's response. Yeah, we can meet like in the middle. You guys have like an expedition system for boats for like larger group content, right? Yep. That is something that we are going to continue to flesh out and get in. But that is the basics. That's the X statement for it. Can we fish off the boat? If so, I live there. We want to make sure that it's feasible. And eventually when you can have your own little small like rowboat looking thing, then we absolutely want you to be able to fish off that. Oh, our water can do wakes behind boats if you want, Talon said. Oh, we should set that up for sure. Can you make sure we do that? I was just... Callum said, also something I noted the other day, the boat water sounds only seem to play in shallow shoals. Oh, interesting. Do I have sound effects off at the moment? No. Justin Beard said, frog race win. Froglock said, "Frog race win." Yeah. Memegore the Priest, Dunder Jester, Uro, 666 Mixin. Thanks for the follows, guys. Dude, there's so many cool frog concepts out there. I think I've mentioned this like every stream. If we could just do 2 or 3 modules of nothing but amphibians and reptiles and swamp and underground, forgotten world, deep swamp, then I would be such a happy camper. OMGBs, thank you for the follow. Was that you earlier? Will there be more sound effects for our footsteps? And there's going to be a spell particle effect, perhaps add a bit more lighting glow cast by spells. Controlled Chaos, we've got a VFX person that's constantly adding more VFX. And we have our wonderful Robert, who's done all of our soundtrack, and a person that we've added towards the end of last year. I'll just use his name, Douglas, because I was like, that's not like I'm doxing anybody. Who is also on the audio team, and the two of them have just been like hammering in new sounds and sound fixes and sound gumbo, butterflied sounds. We are paused. We're waiting for the wind to pick up. There we go. A mighty gust. Mokla, thank you for the follow as well. Perhaps deep ones modeled after the Cthulhu mythos. Some eldritch horror characters. I'm not going to say anything. Fish people from Innsmouth. Do you know that that's what the... so if you played Legacy of Akesha, that was the expansion that we only had like 3 months to put together. We had to get a expansion out in 4 months after Planes of Power came out. Do you know that what did I call those guys? Oh, what were those? The dudes on the weird worshippers of Innerrook on in the temple and stuff. What were they called? Anyway. So on Broken Skull Rock, there was those dudes. Not the like alien looking, but they were the Lugolds. Yes, the Lugolds. The Lugolds were based off of... Hey, Gulo, thank you for the raid, buddy. The Lugolds were based off of my deep love for Lovecraft, and I had just seen... Like, I think I bought the DVD for the movie Dagon, which is actually an underrated Lovecraft movie. And so, yeah, they were... It was meant to kind of have like the Dagon vibe. Dagon? Because if you watch that movie, if you haven't seen it yet, you really should check it out. It's underrated, but it's very much like the Innsmouth creepy people turn out to be half fish. blah blah blah. Fantastic campy movie. But that was very much on my mind when we had to, like, we put together the design for Legacy of Akesha in like 3 or 4 days. Basically, the company came to us and said, Star Wars Galaxies is going to be late. Can you guys get another expansion out in 4 months? So Dagon was the one set in modern times, yeah. And that's why it was on Broken Skull Rock, because we could only do like 5 zones. Though I think Dave wound up sneaking in Hates Fury as like a 6th zone, or maybe that was a 5th zone. And so it was like, we could only do a really small number of, if you get off here, there's some player housing. Do we dare? Don't leave, vote. Oh gosh. See, you can rent a stall. You can rent a bungalow. Oh, summon me again. Summon me again. Summon me again, Swanee. Oh gosh. Okay. I'm done moving. Vecula, Boulder Basher, thank you for the follow. Yeah, Crisis Avert. I was getting very stressed. But yeah, so we only had a finite number of zones, so we just picked something on the map that we thought we could do a pretty cool self-contained theme for. So that's how that happened. Shaw, True Flight. Thank you for the follow. Made it just in time. Professional boat rider. Any chance for NPC pirates raiding these commercial boats en route? That would be another really good stretch goal. That would be fun, wouldn't it? But eventually, like, in the nearer term, it would be really great if we could take our mount system and then turn it into a little boats. Like, just like little rowboat, little sailboat. Ideally, if we do that, we can define 2 types of water. Like the old Ultima games used to, back in the day, where it was like you had the light little water that you could take your little skiff, your little boat, raft, and go in there. And so maybe closer to shore, like in Cello Shoals, it looks like this. No big deal. But then when you get out to the further water, the deeper, crazier water, then it's like we can control the waves and it's dangerous for the little boat. So you can't take your little boat everywhere, right? And you got a limit on how much you can carry with it and the number of people. But, oh yeah, navigable rivers for 100% sure. We want to get river boats in already. So like that river that goes along Sungreed Strand, we want to do that. But then we want to take our mount system and just expand it out into the boats and rafts and stuff. So I think that would be really cool. And then you could fish off of it. Houseboats would be nice. That would be cool. The main thing with the river boats, that's why we got such big rivers. Really would love to have like ferries, so not everything has a bridge, but instead you've got to actually wait for the ferry and take you across the river. So in the world design, the hope is to have some nice big bodies of water and rivers that allow you to kind of connect. In our world map, we've already got some nice connections that go up through the rivers. Like, so if you go from Night Harbor north up through that river, you can get to somewhere at a later module. So wonder if small races can actually ride dogs, wolves, like the concept art. Battle Mage, if we cannot ride a beautiful dog mount like in that concept art, then the Zebros are we're gonna have a talking to the Zebros, as they've affectionately been called tonight. How long do you think it will take to traverse on foot from southwest to northeast by 1.0? I honestly don't know. I can speculate by looking at the zone map. I am stuck. I feel like this collision is discriminating against me. Okay. Duck is definitely, that was on the list of solutions I could have explored. That is true. How many golden eggs are there in the open world? Hater cake? You mean like hidden Easter eggs? Breeding system for mounts. Any thoughts on that? Is that already implemented? It's one of those ideas that's it's kind of been on a list, but it's not been a priority. We do have it in a folder. We have a breeding folder. Pause. We have a folder full of designs, and one of them is for the breeding system. Listen. I realize that 99% of this stream is both old and hopefully has somewhat of a sense of humor that you cannot breed an ogre with a donkey. I can already guarantee that is not in the folder. Let's change topics. Mass 1, thank you for the follow. Puddlefoot said, I think you mentioned a question about Alpha Plus 1. You said you looked at numbers and got distracted and didn't finish. Oh no, but at one point I actually looked at the numbers and just said that we have been looking at the numbers and are going to discuss like how many more folks we should let in, etc. Can we lock pick? Can we? Can we lock pick into people's houses and gank all the stuff like the old Quest for Glory days? I don't think people would actually stand for that. If we're confirming ogres carrying gnomes, can we also confirm halfling goblin in a trench coat? 3 goblins in a trench coat? THG802 says, sorry for repeat question. No, please repeat questions if I miss them. I tend to. How much of a project would it be to implement VR for M&M? Is that something you're interested in? Just, it really hasn't been on our radar. The input for that seems like it could wind up being a pretty big challenge. Movements, yeah. I'm not saying that it could never ever happen, but it's just like, dude, we've tried to be as disciplined as possible to ensure that we can get you this thing in as good a shape as possible in a timely manner. Vicinder, I appreciate the offer. Cinder said, "Let me in, please. I will test the game all day long." That would be likely module 2. Someone was saying Shadow, play a troll Shadow Knight. An EA release. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that we don't have all the races and stuff. It would be cool, right? But like, guys, we didn't think we were going to have this much game when we went into early access. So we feel pretty blessed just to be able to give you this. That's the reality of it. Thanks for answering. I think Eminem would be a banging VR environment to be in. It's one of the, you never know what'll happen like one of these days where if we ever get kind of quasi caught up, like the guys have a tendency to just like do stuff. So, or if we find the right passionate person. I don't know, you know, for us it's always about like prioritizing the most bang for the buck. Is the game getting a T rating? When does the SRB PEGI system force you to slap those on? Hey, speaking of, there's Baloo. He knows the answer to that question. He is our wonderful environment artist and lawyer we were speaking of earlier. Wait, I thought all games on the internet had an internet rating. It's been a while. Yeah, it's all voluntary, but rated B for Boomer. I love it. Wreckage said you're doing a great job. Been testing for a while now and see improvements all the time. Hey, thank you. I'm glad that they're noticed. That they're noticeable and noticed. Alright, whoever this pretty lady is, be safe when you get up here. Don't get killed because it's a long way back to your corpse. Apsu says, don't log into Twitch often, but just wanted to thank you and the rest of the team for running around in game, helping people out. Hey! It's our pleasure to provide you with good quality customer service. Operation Sea Monster 37 in Highwind. Thank you guys for the follows. Oh, it's almost past my bedtime. Oh no, it's that Swanee guy. Uh-oh. Did Swanee have to talk to you about something at some point? Or your problem child? We've got to figure out those transitions. I'm not quite sure what happens on the transitions, if it's just the speed at which the sun's moving. But it'd be cool to smooth those transitions. When are you getting Slash Dance? That's a good question for the animators, I think. Were friends and family testers also meant to get access for testing? I need a lobby for one person, also get an invite link, please. Nimda, you should follow up with us via not Twitch communication channel, and we'll see if we can help you out. Jan yesterday. Vielen Dank für deine Frage. Kannst du mir vielleicht ein DM schicken auf Discord, sodass ich es nicht vergesse? Vielen Dank. Ja, ich kann das nicht schreiben, weil mein Deutsch ist nicht so gut und ich spreche besser, dann ich schreibe. So, frag mir später, wenn ich fertig bin hier, dann, ich glaube, ich gehe schnell zum Bett, aber morgen kann ich gucken. Hey, Talon. It's looking really good. You guys have done a great job here. Ach, du kannst das. Hey! Martin, wie geht's? Das Wetter ist besser. Ich glaube, wir sind bald da. Oh, I appreciate it, guys. Gut, ja, es geht gut, aber wir haben so viel zu tun immer jetzt. I am looking forward to the weather getting better, us getting back into our garden so that I can hang out with Turrican 2006 and his wonderful wife, and who my dog adores, and I can work on my German some more because I haven't used it a ton, just family visits with the in-laws and stuff. Yeah, okay. Tellin, this is looking fantastic, and I think we need to get you out of here because you've probably already fantastic as much as we need to fantastic in this zone. We need to get you in some other areas, and we've got some more propping and stuff that you can I don't know how much of it was just, oh, this looks great too. Dude, I haven't been here in a while. Alright, we got to rebuild collision, but other than that part, at least it makes it easier for me to talk to him. This guy's not going to say anything, is he? The people in there are going to say something, right? I like this part. They're loading stuff. They're loading wood on here. That's good. It's good business. Look at this scene, guys. Wood. I look like the Dungeon Master from the old school D&D cartoon. I feel like that. I feel that I look legally distinct from any other characters that may exist in the world. Thank you. Any similarity between my outfit and that outfit is purely coincidence and happenstance. Don't you dare, Dargith. Baloo, save me. I didn't hail these guys down here. No, I feel bad because you told me to do it and I didn't do it. Careful with the crane with waterfall background. Yeah, the crane with waterfall background is a wonderful scene. More dock hands. Do you have something for me? Okay. Wait, you know what? I'm hidden. Did I ever unhide? Have I been hidden this whole time? That's why that person, Angel, was never saying anything to me, only Swanee, because I was hidden the whole time. That's why nobody's talking to me. Well, that's good. Wait, am I... Why are they ignoring... Okay. Well, you told me to hail people. I'm hailing everybody. Alright, Talon, I am disappointed. You told me to hail people. I have hailed a total of 4 people. Back to work. They don't like me. That's also a possibility. I don't blame them. Gnome haters. Anismina, am I pronouncing your name correctly? Or is there a different cadence? Okay. I was lurking in some streams recently. So I was lurking in your stream along with some other streams. Cool with the anti-nomatism? I thought you said nomalism. Turfup, thank you for the follow, if I didn't say that earlier. Oh shit, I missed this again. I was just looking at this pretty scene. You guys really have done a great job with it. Incredible. Easy. Blaze. Hey. Hey, Synexa. Blaze, thank you for the follow. Yes, it was well timed. Oh, I didn't mean why are you ignoring me? I mean, what's the response when you are hidden? What? Did I get into a side conversation? I like... Some of these areas are just so awesome at night that I'm just kind of like... Make it forever night. Speaking of forever night, I can't wait till you guys start seeing the deep zones. Nice additional foliage there. Mongoose, thank you for the follow. Could show us right now. I don't think we have any deep zones accessible on this server. Tiersis, Jadaran, thank you for the follow. Just like sneaking into somebody's... Oh, this is the end. We gotta get the indoors and stuff going. Hey, Bonks. Bonks said, Robot, hope the team is doing well with beta launch. From watching ZBrush and Zukin Sculpts, they are now known as the Zebros, just in case you didn't know. Oh, this guy looks ominous. Oh, you know what? People were probably responding to me earlier. Didn't they? Thanks, Dargith. I'm glad you're there for us to keep our keels even. Dargith is don't attack Dargith. It has been a running joke for I think like 3 years now. 404 not found. Thank you for the follow. You can always tell our old OG regulars when the dog shit start coming out. The dwarf has got a dumper on him. You know, some people that's maybe the first time I've heard that pointed out about the dwarf, but go figure. Just in time for me to say Mud Butt Mayhem. Thank you for the follow. That was a planned skit. Yes. That is the level of coordination and production values that we have here on the Loving Robot Family Hour. Paid actor. The only person paid on the project is the actor. What race are you maining if you're not a dev? No. Looking forward to playing a Deep Gnome? Oh, they're going to be fun characters. What's down there? Something to explore. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. Well, I hope you survived. Maybe they were his friends. Sean is like, Nat Geo, never intervene. I can't. This is a play server. He's playing. He's learning his lessons. Mudbutt Mayhem said, I beta tested EQ2 in Vanguard. I will not beta test Eminem for fear of jinxing it. Oh, man. What is over here? Tellin added something new over here. I don't recognize that. Yeah, we appreciate your service. Oh, some people are running. Where are they going? Oh, that's the place I just came from. I'm like, what is that over there? That looks interesting and amazing. It's where I just came from. And this is why people don't group with me anymore. Always nice to see somebody's little campfire going. Joy and Honey Bear are hanging out. I hope you guys are having a great time. What is your favorite class? I don't want to say and bias it. But I'm really excited to play a gnome cleric again. Because that way I'm very small, but I'm critical. And also, I'd like to... well, I've actually, for beta, I have been playing a enchanter, thank you. And then in alpha, I didn't really have a ton of time, but yeah. I was playing a necromancer, thank you. The hidden answer is definitely Inquisitor. I'm going to play a gnomish Inquisitor. Moonshape, thank you for the follow. Shakanshi, thank you as well. Hello. It's crazy how this game has really come together in the last 6 months. The zones are looking amazing. The folks have done some... The guys have just been... Just been going, man. And over the next couple of months, even more stuff will come together. And then we'll be in early access. And then we'll keep trying to make stuff happen. Moonshape said, I very much enjoy what I've seen and played of the game so far. Awesome. Can't wait to see the trolls in our lovely swampy home. These trolls are going to be so much fun. There's so much trouble. Are deep elves going to be accepted in Night Harbor, or is it going to be more of a depending on faction situation? They will be accepted. They will be accepted in the Underdocks, but above ground, I think that's when. Once we hit module 1, I think you're going to start seeing. You're going to start seeing us playing with the factions a bit more and maybe tweaking a thing or two that existed. To feel a little different. But the Underdocks is a deep district of Night Harbor. You'll see Deep Elf, maybe some Deep Elf NPCs in some places in Night Harbor, emissaries and things like that, but humans in Deep Elf City, you will see in like the, in kind of the foreign quarter. Do we have anticipated dates for Module 1, 2, etc.? Module 1, we really are trying to... We've already started on it. And we are trying to see if we can hit that time frame of just a couple of months. Well, I should say a few months after we go into early access. But we'll see how things shape up for early access. We'll see how... you know, what impact the work that we need to do for early access has on M1, etc. But... We've already got a really great zone for Module 1. Dungeon for Module 1. That we need to start on population work and stuff, but it's fairly well put together at this point, environment art-wise. We're working on the Deep Elf City. We've got the Underdocks in a good state. We've got the Caves of Aram. That's got a really solid start to it. We've got to start in earnest on the Great Cavern Sea, and we've started on Fields of the Lost. So Module 1 by Q1 2027 is a safe bet. I would say that our hope is to get Module 1 in... hopefully it's no later than Q4 of this year, but we'll see. Silverming said, how long does it take from start to playable for a zone? It really depends on the zone, and it depends on everybody's schedule, because right now everybody's volunteering their time. So it can be, we've had some situations where like people were working on a zone and then they had to kind of AFK for like a month because some stuff popped up in real life. If I had to say, and the other thing is that we've also wind up pulling people off one zone back into others, blah, blah. I think if we're able to focus, kind of 3-4 months is reasonable, but I don't know that we've ever hit that. But then the hope is, as we have, if we have cash and then we've got the ability to essentially get some folks able to focus full time, then we'll be able to increase that rate and do some other stuff to help us be a little more consistent and a little bit faster in terms of production capacity. What do we have for population logged in over the last few days? I think I read it earlier, and it was 1,600, almost 1,700 unique accounts. Did Night Harbor go down? I'm stuck at character select, and every time I log in and see it puts me back at character select. Swanee, do you see? So I don't have to tab over. People are saying Night Harbor's fine. What kind of population can each individual server support? At the moment, it's more a question of being content bound, because we've got fewer zones than we'll eventually have. But that said, during the 11/12 day playtest that we did last year, when was that, November? The Rel server supported, I think 6,600 unique accounts. Mushu, questing is not really the way to level. Questing's just there to provide you with some better understanding of the world, some lore, some cool items, some nice goals, but we're very kind of camp and grind or run around and kill stuff kind of game. You guys talked about not releasing automation to keep players coming back to get new stuff. Are you talking about a similar approach with zone dungeon releases? Well, I mean, we don't have an option but to slowly release zones and dungeons over time, just because we have to keep making them. Questing for XP is such a great alternative. It is, but you've got to realize that questing for XP, there are a couple things there. One, it works best with like a different type of quest system. Our approach is more freeform. It's not journal based, etc. The other thing is, but I mean, that's kind of like chicken or egg. The other thing is, it's a lot more production intensive. It's a lot more writing. You guys have to understand that when we decided to make the game the way we decided to make it 5 years ago, a lot of it was based off the idea that there was like 4 of us, and we wanted to make a game that we thought we could actually make. And so the nature of the content, like why one, we like to play games where you sit and grind and camp mobs, and you're waiting for RNG to spawn the correct rare, and then you're hoping he's got the item that you need, right? It's kind of a slot machine vibe. That type of content, it's a lot easier to produce. It's a lot more manageable for a small team. If you look at something like Star Wars The Old Republic or whatever, right, that's much higher production values, scripted events, or if you look at like scripted dungeons that you're going to run and things of that nature. All of those things are really cool. They're just very different types of games, and for a small team that's not only trying to create like a specific vibe and be nostalgic, etc., we are also very focused from day one on like production, the realities of production and what do we think we could actually make. I guess I should have clarified. That would be as a replacement. It wouldn't be a replacement or a greater amount of XP, but more like party bonus to grind like Yaku's Quest, hated WoWs. So definitely not suggesting that. And keep in mind that one of the things that we like to do is, as we work towards 1.0 and we've got more and more of the world in place, we want to continue to go back and layer in more quests, and quests that have like broader reach and all of that stuff, right? So voice chat for groups would be legit. I am absolutely not sold on voice chat. The only place I'm sold on voice chat for is a voice over IP based RP server that's whitelisted for you to join, and is focused on just making like cool RP content. Will the price be different in poor countries? We've talked about it, and that's a tough one. It's a lot easier if you've got country-specific servers or whatever that people are capable of, like, or that we're able to kind of say, if you've paid for that server, that's the server you get. But yeah, it is hard to manage. So between this wonderful music, I hope the vibe is good enough for folks. Speaking of a vibe, Do we have anybody that's streaming next on the team? There's too much sand in this zone for your liking. It's too brown. Okay. Fair points. Zukin, you start up, buddy, and we'll raid you. Get started. Zukin is the humblest. But he is not the most chill. Alright, we've already resolved that. Simon, I think that's harassment. Wanted to buy Zukin meat. Now we're getting a little... That's a little too frisky, Brown Butcher. It's nice to see people constantly streaming. It makes for great second screen content at work. Right on, yeah. Same here. Heath Ledger, absolutely will. UK Rads, sleep good. You as well. Yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap up as soon as Zukin's available. I'm gonna pop off. Okay, no, that one's fine. And catch up on DMs and then go to bed. Thank you for being here, everybody. Stick around. You'll get to see some art being made, probably. Gunnar Wolf, bye. Sia, Vecula, Swanee, thanks for the summons. THJ, good to meet you. Take care. Dan Hammer, Pilgrim, Turken, gute Nacht. Und bis bald. Papa Mo, Sia, XV, Nerve-wrecked, Magen, Viper. Everybody stay safe until Friday. I'll probably be back Friday. I'll try not to flake out, but I've got a lot of work to do, but also I'll try not to flake out. Mr. Jiggs, John, Behe, Stout T, Simon, Perez Dispenser, Graf Pavian, you take care. See ya, Sticks and Stones, Conk Donkey. It just made me think of that song. Let me ride my donkey. Esrimsky, Vorar, Monsterakos, Cider, D's Games, see ya, buddy. Moonshaped, Itod, see ya, Coot. Mr. Jiggs, Alfidacine, Choose, Chow, Lord Corundum, have a good one. Runic Totem, Landos, Archon, Byro, John, Tiragram, Guar. I saw Guar live when I was a young man. That was like 30 years ago. Van Goose, Micum, Butt Charity. Take care of yourself. DiGerino, Old Draenor, Quackham said, back to work on my character, Quilliam Quackspear. I have songs and poems to write for in game. That sounds wonderful. There is nothing quite like good duck content. In bed with Ed. I'm about to be. You take care. Boots, 1974. Bye. Hails Luker. Zukin is streaming? Alright, let's get going. See ya, Pipes. Shashal, Wintari, Jamaran, Anismina, Bonks. Alright. Linjua, Crescents, OMGBs. Alright, there's the official word from Zukin. Mixin, hey, thanks for that. You guys, Malance, everybody, hang on. We're going to raid Zukin, you guys. Don't go anywhere. Zukan. Starting to raid now. You guys take care until Friday. I'll probably be here, like I said. I'll try not to flake out. All right, let's raid now. See you guys then.